Welcome to an all-new episode of Like Nobody's Business. I'm Beth Sewald at the Vegas Chamber. The Vegas Chamber recently went to Washington, D.C. for our annual fly-in. We heard from congressional leaders, leaders in business, and our members about what shapes Southern Nevada and the impact we can make when we let our voices be heard and the changes we want to see in Nevada. I had the honor of speaking with some policymakers and game changers while in D.C., and here's part one of the D.C. Fly-In special on Like Nobody's Business. I'm Beth Sewald with the Vegas Chamber, and we are here in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, for the annual Washington, D.C. Fly-In with the Vegas Chamber. And I'm very honored to be here today with Senator Jacky Rosen. Senator, thank you for being here.
It is my pleasure to be here every year with you.
Absolutely. You know, I was very honored to be able to advocate with you on behalf of travel and tourism, which is the economic engine, as we all know, for our entire state. I was proud to testify at your subcommittee. Talk to us a little bit about that field hearing and what you were able to accomplish through that.
Well, first of all, thank you for participating. But what I really want to say is I am very proud to be the chairwoman of the Senate Subcommittee for Tourism, Trade, and Export Promotion. That subcommittee didn't exist, and we took the majority. I advocated and created that subcommittee. And since we've done that, we have just passed a lot of bills. I know we're going to talk about it. But one of the things we talk about, the importance of tourism. Now, in Nevada, we know that tourism is the top economic engine in our state. Everything flows below that. But in every state in this nation has somewhere great and wonderful to visit, and tourism is a top economic driver. So this is one of the most bipartisan committees because everybody wants to promote tourism in their state. So I am proud to take that lead. Our hearing about all the great sports and entertainment, concerts. We have, of course, the Super Bowl coming, F1. We've had the Pro Bowl, the draft, Beyonce, Taylor Swift. We're all going there, all of that. I think the Sphere is opening in a couple weeks, bringing more concerts and events. And it's really just exciting, reigniting the way people want to come visit us. It's just creating more ways and things for people to do when they come to Las Vegas, really enhancing their vacation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it can also enhance economic development. Right. It can enhance our small business economic engines as well.
Tourists come and spend money.
Exactly.
If they come and spend money, it means jobs, jobs, jobs. People have jobs. The people who live in Las Vegas spend their money, but the people who come to visit, they come out to our communities too. I know that. They're spending money, and it's good for all of us.
Well, and you have been super active as well, not only in tourism and travel and so forth, but with Brightline.
Yeah.
And we had a press conference not too long ago and things like that. Can you give us the current status of that project?
Well, I am very, very hopeful that we're going to hear a positive result coming up a little bit later in the fall. Since the beginning, since we passed the bipartisan infrastructure law and we put aside money for high-speed rail, I have been leading the charge to get that Brightline train, that high-speed rail. We've been trying to do it for years from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. First of all, again, jobs, 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 number one. Tourism spend money, billions of dollars to our economy, about 30,000 jobs to start just to build it out. We're going to remove that congestion off the I-15. That's going to be great too. We're going to remove 400,000 tons of metric tons of carbon emissions off our freeway every year by having the Brightline train. And again, just giving another great experience for people to come, spend their money, and build our economy. How does that help? We're here with the chamber. How does that help small business? Well, I bet right around that train station, you're going to see a few coffee shops, a few sandwich shops as people do whatever they want to do to come there. You're going to see, maybe our helicopters that take people to see the Grand Canyon. Maybe they'll have to buy a few new helicopters. We have more visitors coming. The more visitors we have, the better our economy is. I'm really proud to advocate for that. I've been calling Secretary Buttigieg, we'll say regularly and
daily,
not quite daily, but regularly. And we hope to have the announcement, hope for a positive announcement.
Well, we hope so too. And I was
shovel ready. We are shovel ready. That's what I tell them.
Yes.
This project ready to go. There'll be this full train on day one, and they want to open for the 2028 Olympics.
Yeah, very exciting. We had a panel today here at the Vegas Chamber Fly-In, and they were talking about that as well. So good luck with that, and we were proud to be able to help you with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You're always there. Here, the Chamber, you are always with me, helping me to understand the needs of the businesses, not just the ones that are already here, but the people who hope to come here, or the dreams of people, what we think we could do, what we could be, an innovation center for this, an idea for that. And so your partnership helps me on Small Business Committee, on my Tourism Committee, and others to pass the kinds of things that help your members in the Chamber. It's a partnership.
It is a partnership, and it's very meaningful to us. And to the degree that you are such a great partner, we're able to work together and help our small businesses.
Yeah.
Another thing that our small businesses need, and I know it's something that's near and dear to your heart, is access to childcare.
Yes.
That is just so important, but it's often unaffordable. We've heard statistics like single women spending upwards of 40% of their income on childcare, and so they're just not able to be in the workforce. So what are some of the initiatives that you're working on in terms of childcare and assisting to that degree?
Well, thank you for asking that. It's so important. We put all these programs, all this funding. Let's say that we get the Brightline train. That's going to be about 30,000 jobs. Who are those workers going to be? Probably people with families. They may need childcare. If they have to have good, affordable places for their kids to go, places they trust. And Nevada happens to be a childcare desert. People think of childcare deserts as maybe some deep rural area. It's not true. We have them urban and rural, affordable, trusted childcare. So again, I sit on the Small Business Committee. Access to SBA, we know what great programs they have. But you know that nonprofits do not have access to SBA resources. So we want to open up nonprofits for childcare to be able to access all the SBA resources. So what does that mean? Someone like the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, your local church. So like I said, whether it's urban or rural, there's other nonprofits like that. They can have access to these quality resources and all that we do. So nonprofits can set up quality, affordable, trusted childcare. Nothing is more important. When you're a parent of a young child, nothing matters more to you. Or a grandparent, you're worried where your grandkid's going to go, right? And so this is at the core of what we do. We hope to see that bill passed through the Senate by the end of the year, and hopefully we'll get it passed through the House. It's a bill I think will really make a difference.
I do too, and so congratulations on that.
Yeah.
And so we're really proud and honored to have you working on a bill like that. I also want to, speaking of proud and honored, I want to congratulate you on being the among the top 10 most bipartisan and the top 10 most effective senators. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I'm really proud. I have to say, I'm in my first term. And so I got here to do things for Nevada. Nevada's my home. I've lived here. My family moved here in the mid-'70s. This is where I've raised my family. Everything that is good in my life has come from my friends and family being here. My parents are buried in the VA cemetery in Boulder City. And so for me, I knew I just had to work with everyone I could in a bipartisan way to get things done. I'm going to continue that work in a bipartisan way because that's what people expect me to do. It's what Nevada needs. And I'm not going to stop doing that. And hopefully I get that list every year.
Well, congratulations. If we had anything to say about it, you would.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for all your work and for advocating alongside the Vegas Chamber.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
7 at 7 is a newscast built for your smartphone. It's a 7-minute newscast available every weekday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. at LVRJ.com. We don't waste your time, and we give you the day's top stories.
We at the RJ have noticed some similarities between us and a certain BTS character, RJ.
Plus the latest in Las Vegas business, weather, health, and entertainment news. 7 at 7 streaming now on your smartphone.
I'm Mary Beth Sewald with the Vegas Chamber, and I am here at our nation's capital on the Vegas Chamber's Washington D.C. fly-in, and I am here with former Congressman Jon Porter. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us on the trip this year.
Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be a part of the family.
Well, Congressman, we've worked together for a really long time, and you were part of the very first fly-in 16 years ago. This is so much different. It's so much bigger. This is the largest fly-in ever. How does that feel?
Oh, it's amazing, and it sends a message to the nation the nation's capital and to the world the strength of the Nevada business community and the strength of the Vegas Chamber. Absolutely phenomenal.
And we've had a lot of important meetings already this week. Tell us a little bit about what some of the biggest takeaways have been for you.
Well, we're standing here, of course, in the center of the free world, and with 16 years of experience, the Chamber is now making its own history. And some of the highlights are, we've had members of Congress speak, administration members have spoken. You've had a lot of the members here that are a big part of the whole fly-in making presentations. We've talked about the media, we've talked about polling, we've talked about lands, we've talked about waters and the important things for Nevada. So I think so far, everything has been phenomenal. I'm just really proud of you.
And it's really important that we put Nevada on the map. And so these conversations, actually, with these conversations, we're able to move the needle.
Absolutely. You know, there is a lot of groups and businesses that come here from around the country and from Nevada, but this is the number one organization from Nevada and now in the nation to bring so many people together. And the Vegas fly-in, we're asked about every day. Whenever I walk into one of the office buildings in the center of the house, it's, Congressman, when is the Vegas fly-in? We have become, with your leadership and the years of building into this, the premier organization, the premier fly-in in Washington, D.C.
Well, Congressman, you've been such a huge part of this organization and a huge part of all the accomplishments that we've been able to make. So we appreciate your leadership and we appreciate your partnership.
Thank you. Again, I'm honored to be part of the family and happy to do whatever I can to help the Chamber.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In celebration of the Las Vegas business community and your Vegas Chamber trustees, we proudly announce our new chair and the incoming board of trustees. Join us at the Wynn Las Vegas.
As humans, we're visual creatures. In fact, American adults spend nearly 6 hours each day watching video, and we're evolving and expanding across screens. Whether we're surfing the web at work, streaming our favorite show in a waiting room, or watching the game live at home, Cox Media's digital video solutions can deliver your business's message to consumers in a way that creates a meaningful connection and drives them to take action. Grow your business. Call Cox Media today.
I'm Beth Sewald with the Vegas Chamber, and we are here at our annual Washington, D.C. fly-in with Senator Catherine Cortez Mastro. Senator, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
You know, you've always been such a great advocate and partner with the Vegas Chamber, working on behalf of small businesses across Nevada, medium-sized businesses, of course, the largest ones as well. What are some of your priorities that you're working on right now?
Yeah, for me, when it comes to our small businesses, as you well know, this is really the backbone of our, this is it, right? They create the jobs in our communities, they're the entrepreneurs, they're the ones that care. And so the goal here is to make it so that at a federal level, they have access to capital that we can help them achieve that. There's cybersecurity issues that I know our businesses are dealing with, that they can open the doors, they have the technical assistance that they need. I know many, and you and I have talked about this, many businesses be able to provide benefits for their employees, but it's challenging, right? So pooling, my goal here at a federal level is to allow more of our businesses, particularly smaller ones, to pool the resources, to be able to access those benefits, to be able to access the products and security services necessary for cybersecurity needs and so many other things. I think there's a benefit in opening that door for those businesses to work together.
Well, we sure appreciate your partnership. You've done so much to help our small businesses, so we appreciate it very much. Switching gears a little bit to the looming government shutdown. What are your predictions about that? Do you think it's avoidable?
I will tell you, on the Senate side, Republicans and Democrats don't want to see a shutdown. We've done just the opposite. We've worked in a bipartisan way to move the appropriations bills out of committee and continue to move those. It really is going to be up to those few in the House Freedom Caucus.
And I know that you've also been very involved in that, and you're working on it. We were talking with Susie Lee earlier, and she's with the Problem Solvers Caucus and different things like that. So there's a lot of concern about things that would happen in the event that we do have a government shutdown.
That's right. People don't realize when the federal government shuts down at the end of the day, that's impacting everything the federal government does for constituents, right? Getting checks out for Social Security, getting unemployment, whatever it may be at the end of the day for our federal employees, but also it's not just the federal employees, it's our active military. It is constituents, again, who are relying on some sort of benefit from the federal government, whether you're a senior or you're a veteran. It also means if we're shutting down the government, there's concerns about ensuring that we're addressing the safe communities that we need and the law enforcement impacts that are going to be there, right? So there's a number of implications that people don't realize, and they shouldn't until it happens. But who should realize it, unfortunately, are those few that want to shut down the government. They know better. They know what's at stake, and they're still willing to take that chance.
Well, and we're here at our Washington, D.C. fly-in this week. We've had a lot of conversations about all kinds of different issues impacting Nevada. Water has been a priority for you. We've had many discussions about that, and you asked me to convene some folks to have some discussions in the business community. We did that yesterday, one of many that we've had. Give us a little bit of insights on where you are with that priority in your office.
So as part of, and I touched on this, there's $4 billion just from the Inflation Reduction Act to focus on the needs along the Colorado River for those basin states. That money is going to become available over the next couple of years or even beyond. There's a tranche of money that just opened up for large-scale water recycling. That means that local communities that are not recycling, we recycle, right? Southern Nevada recycles 99% of its water, but there's other communities that don't. So this is a kind of a carrot that says, you know what, you can apply for this grant funding and do a large-scale water recycling project that takes that gray water and recycles it. That keeps that water in the Colorado River. So a lot of the money that is coming available now is for that conservation, is for that water recycling. It's figuring out how we work with those other communities and other states so that they're engaging the same level that we are in Southern Nevada to protect that water along the Colorado River.
Yeah, and we talked yesterday too on that panel about ways to sort of balance, right, our water, and we're on the cutting edge in Southern Nevada. And so if we can share those best practices and get other places to adopt those as well. But when we talk about economic development, and then we talk about how do we entice businesses to come to Southern Nevada, but still get them to have an appropriate water footprint.
Yeah, I think we've already done that, right? So we have learned over the years that Nevada, as we saw in 1990, particularly Southern Nevada, is going to continue to grow. So as we grow and develop our economy, we also have to manage the water. I don't think the water issue should take the lead. I think it should be part of this conversation as we grow our economy and our economic development. What do we need to do to address our water needs now and in the future? We should always be planning for the future. The good news is Nevada Water Authority has already done that, right? So we know that we conserve more water now than we ever have, 50 years ago, right? So it is important that we continue to utilize that process as part of a tool that we need to address when we're talking about economic development and bringing businesses here. I think the biggest story that we can tell for businesses is the good news around what we've done to protect our water. Think about this. That's the first time along the Colorado River that the federal government has declared 2 water shortages, right? And Nevada and Arizona were impacted. Because we've done such a good job of conserving our water and thinking about our needs for the future, those 2-tier shortages did not impact our water needs because we're already consuming less water than what we are allocated on the Colorado River.
Which isn't much in the first place.
Well, that's right. We've got the smallest amount, but it shows you what other states can be doing. And again, you touched on it. We are a great model. We got a great story to tell. We are a model for those other states. Now with the $4 billion that's in the Inflation Reduction Act, and there's $8 billion in the bipartisan infrastructure package to address water needs, now there's opportunities to get the other states to do what we've been doing with water recycling and conservation.
And the other great idea that came up yesterday during our panel discussion was when the LVGEA is looking to bring a company to Southern Nevada, and maybe they do have a larger water footprint, what can we do to connect them, say, for example, with DRI, Dr. Acharya, to teach them and give them new technologies so that they can reduce their water footprint?
That's right, and I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of the funding that is here at a federal level is for that research and development. Desert Research Institute is on the cutting edge of it, as you well know. But here's the thing, there's new technology out there that is going to help us conserve. And it's happening in Nevada right now. I was just in northern Nevada when I was home in August. I was at Winnemucca Farms. And they, believe it or not, they do incredible farming around potatoes. They grow potatoes for Frito-Lay. And what they are doing now is, with their pivots, they are putting these long kind of snake-like plastic pipes attached to their pivots, and they're putting holes in it so that they are conserving water. So when that pivot goes around, it's dragging this pipe, but it's got little holes in it, so that it's almost like what we do in southern Nevada when we're talking about watering our lawns, right, with a drip system. It's almost the same concept. And they are conserving water, but they're also able to grow the potatoes that they need. And this is a new technology. And this is the opportunity now at a federal level. There's funding to support those pilot projects to make things like that happen, where we can conserve water.
What a great innovation.
Yeah.
Well, Senator, we're so happy to have you with us this week, and we really appreciate all you've done on behalf of business across the state.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice to be with you. Thank you.
Remember Old Vegas, where the customer was king? The Casablanca in Mesquite is just like Vegas used to be. Play over 40 of your favorite table games.
Play over 800 slot and video poker machines and get comps, free play, and cash back.
Get away and play 2 18-hole championship golf courses, or pamper yourself in our full-service salon and unwind in our world-class spa. Now this is my kind of getaway. Reserve your $99 golf or spa getaway today. It's just like Vegas used to be.
I'm Mary Beth Sewald with the Vegas Chamber here at the Washington D.C. Fly-In in Washington, D.C. I'm here with Nevada State Treasurer Zach Conine. Zach, tell us a little bit about what you've seen so far today with our panel discussions.
Well, I think today's been a really interesting kind of subset of some of the issues facing Southern Nevada and the ways that we're going to get through them. And it's interesting to hear both from Nevadans and from people around the country about best practices, especially when it comes to workforce development and attracting industries into Nevada.
It's been really interesting, I think. We started off the day with a panel talking about how we can leverage tourism to spur economic development. What was your biggest key takeaway from that one?
My biggest takeaway was from Betsy Fretwell, who really talked about the importance of focus and keeping that focus going. And I know that can be difficult for those in the political space, right? Because we always want to go after the bright and shiny thing. But just being able to pick a target and continually work on it until the thing's done is a pretty great takeaway.
The other thing that's neat is seeing so many Nevadans here in Washington, D.C. We joke and we say we see more Nevadans in D.C. than we see in Nevada. Right?
And it's absolutely true. I saw more Nevadans in the airport than I typically see in Nevada. But it's great. It's nice to see people in a non-session environment, right, where there aren't pressing bills on the table for everyone to be worried about or be hopeful for, and just to talk about ways that we can make our state even better.
Well, thank you so much for all your service, Mr. Treasurer, and thanks for being with us on the Fly-In.
No, thanks for having us. We're really happy to be here.
I'm Mary Beth Sewald at the Vegas Chamber's Washington, D.C. Fly-In, and I'm here with the President and CEO of the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance, Ms. Tina Quigley. Tina, thanks for being with us this week.
Thank you so much, and thank you. I know we're only partly through the first day, but already I feel like there's some great content and great conversations. I appreciate so much all the work that you and your team put into this.
Well, thank you so much. And likewise, we're partners on this event. And we've had a few panel discussions already. We've talked about tourism, economic development, which is your wheelhouse. Talk to us a little bit about what was your biggest takeaway from that first panel that you did.
So the panel that I was on, I appreciate so much hearing pretty much a consistent message from all the panelists. Wasn't that interesting? They said, instead of casting a wide net, let's get super focused and targeted on the industries and the companies that make the most sense for us to try to reach out to and attract. I appreciate Betsy said, be focused. I appreciate that Steve said, hey, sports and entertainment is where we're headed already organically, so let's hire somebody who is specifically for the sole purpose of going out and identifying and recruiting and researching to grow and attract that type of business. So, and then I thought it was interesting that it was followed up by the education panel, which had a similar message, and that is figure out who you are and be focused on that.
I thought so too, and thank you for all of your great leadership and your expertise. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate yours, so thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a great week. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Like Nobody's Business. I'm Mary Beth Sewald. From all of us here at the Vegas Chamber, thank you for watching.
At it again in 110, and the fire's just starting to burn. There ain't no keeping us down in this neon town. We've been waiting for our turn. Gonna roll the dice and go all night, ready for my lucky roll. Vegas, oh, we're doubling down. Vegas, yeah, we're doubling down. Well, it's a party in the desert, but never felt bad. The city light's gonna shine. Gonna run into the fire, the stakes are getting higher. We're bigger and better this time. We won't let it slip out of our fingertips. Gonna cash in the chips that we burn. Vegas, oh, we're doubling down. Vegas, yeah, we're doubling down. Vegas, oh, we're doubling down. Vegas, yeah, we're doubling down. Vegas.
As humans, we're visual creatures. In fact, American adults spend nearly 6 hours each day watching video, and we're evolving and expanding across screens. Whether we're surfing the web at work, streaming our favorite show in a waiting room, or watching the game live at home, Cox Media's digital video solutions can deliver your business's message to consumers in a way that creates a meaningful connection and drives them to take action. Grow your business. Call Cox Media today.